second of our 6 categories of ratios or indicators are the so-called efficiency indicator. That is all about how well the business control its costs, its overheads, in other words, its overheads and expenses. We have 3 variations. We have the percentage operating profit on sales, the percentage net profit on sales, and the percentage operated expenses on sales. Again, basically, we do exactly what each of these indicators tell us. Operating profit on sales. So sales is at the bottom, the operating profit is at the top. We want the percentage, so we have to multiply by 100 over 1. So usually we compare this against previous year's figures. This is about to what extent the business is in control of their operating expenses. So a decrease from one year to another is obviously not desirable. We would prefer an increase. If we look at the next variation, the percentage net profit on sales, again, we take exactly what it says, net profit, and we divide it by sales because it's on sales. We want the percentage, so we multiply by 100 over 1. Again, we will usually compare against previous years. So this is very much the same as the previous one. The only difference is that net profit also take in consideration finance costs. It includes interest expense, whereas operating profit is only about the main operations of business excluding finance. So in a sense, finance costs will therefore affect this ratio. So it shows the influence of finance costs on the efficiency of the business. For example, if you get the answer of 5%, it means for every 1 rand of sales, the 5% of the profit will go to the owner. Okay, so usually a decrease in this ratio indicates less efficiency, whereas an increase in this ratio from one year to the next will indicate better efficiency. The third one, or third variation of our efficiency indicator, is the operating expenses on sales, the percentage operating expenses on sales or turnover. Now, again, it is basically what it says, operating expenses at the top, and we have sales on the bottom because it's on sales, and we want a percentage, so we multiply by 100 over 1. Again, we will tend to compare against previous financial years, and the more our operating expenses is, the higher this ratio will be. But higher operating expenses means less efficiency. So the higher this ratio is, the worse for the business. We want this ratio low. We want the operating expenses as a proportion of sales low. So therefore, that is what we desire. So a decrease, therefore, in this percentage shows, therefore, that the business is more efficient in controlling the expenses. So if this ratio is too high, the business will want to cut its overhead costs. So what you need to remember is the first two, an increase in the percentage is good. This one, an increase in the percentage is bad. So here we work with indirect relationships, whereas for the first two we work with direct relationships.